Well, as many of you fans know, singer Rosemary Clooney is featured in an article in this week's Saturday Evening Post entitled Hollywood's Favorite Songbird. And we have a little surprise for you, a special recorded interview with Rosemary Clooney. But first of all, Rosemary, just how did you feel when the Saturday Evening Post decided to do your story?
Actually, I was surprised because I always thought of the Post as doing kind of stories on very famous men, Mr. Crosby and Mr. Hope. I was terribly flattered, and then thought that maybe I'd have to be around show business for at least another 20 years before the Post was interested.
Well, Rosemary, your many hit records have earned you a claim to fame. And speaking of hits, what do you think was your first important record?
Well, I'd say my first hit record that I had that made the most impression, the biggest impression on the country was Come On to My House.
Oh, yeah.
When I think of a hit record, those in just selling 200,000 copies, there was a hillbilly song, country and western song, called Beautiful Brown Eyes that I recorded about, 9 months before Come On to My House. And that kind of brought me out of the obscure ranks, and so I was a little bit known by the time Come On to My House came along. But I'd say really that was the most important hit.
Well, Rosemary, of all the songs you have recorded, which one is your personal favorite?
My personal favorite is Tenderly. It's a kind of a challenge because there were 33 recordings already made up to that time. And so when my record came out, I was terribly pleased because people kind of associated me with the song after that. So that would be my personal favorite, Tenderly.
Well, during the holidays, lots of us saw White Christmas, which starred you along with Bing Crosby and Danny Kaye. How'd you like doing a big musical picture like that, Rosemary?
It was a great, great thrill. Actually, most of the scenes that I had in the picture were done with Bing. Most of the songs that I sang were with Bing. And just being around Danny was an experience in itself. But working with Bing, I found that I've never been so relaxed. I've never been, just enjoyed every single moment of it. It was a fantastic experience.
Well, now that your picture has been released, what plans do you have for the future?
Well, I have a tentative date in May at the Sands in Las Vegas. So if that works out, that will be my very first thing after I become a mother. And then during the summer, sometime, I'd like very, very much to go to London, to the Palladium, because I have a feeling that my husband will be doing a picture in Europe.
Well, Man and Woman, which you recorded with your husband, Jose Ferrer, seems to be doing all right now. Say, do you plan any future issues of Mr. and Mrs. recordings?
Oh, yes. We have one that will be released, I believe, in the next month or two, and we recorded it for Columbia. It's called Mr. and Mrs., oddly enough. And the other side is a song called Marry the Man, which is another odd title. But I think both of them are very, very interesting, and I hope you will enjoy them, too.
Well, I'm sure we will, Rosemary. And I'm sure lots of our fans are going to enjoy reading Virginia Martin's story about you in this week's issue of the Saturday Evening Post.
I certainly hope they enjoy reading it. I know that Virginia Martin is an excellent, excellent writer. I've read novels of hers and short pieces that she's done, and I know that she'll do a wonderful job, and I just know that I'm terribly, terribly thrilled. Thank you very, very much.